too?
I don't think so. I mean, when we're...
All right, we don't. Coming up on SUTV, we'll update you on a body found in Canaryville.
And an update on if the coronavirus is at SU. Stay tuned. Welcome to SUTV. I'm Emily Alverson.
And I'm Parker Haney. After finding a body in Canaryville 2 weeks ago, the Iron County Sheriff's Office is identifying the body as a 22-year-old male from Taylorsville. Officials responded to the field north of the town on February 29th after receiving a report about a dead body being found. When the investigation first started, the body's condition, as well as a lack of personal identification documents, made the identity of the man unknown. Officials say that cold weather contributed to the man's death, and they found his car abandoned after it crashed near mile marker 49 on I-15 on February 9th. The name of the man has not been released yet, pending notification of his nearest family members.
Southern Utah University is assuring students that they are closely monitoring the coronavirus outbreak. In an email sent out to students on March 10th, SUU administration stated that they are maintaining contact with the state and local health departments. SUU will continue to follow guidelines and recommendations issued by the Centers for Disease and U.S. State Department. There are currently no known cases of COVID-19 on campus among the students, faculty, or staff, although one study abroad trip in Italy was cut short due to the outbreak. According to SUU, no students, faculty, or staff from the trip were exposed to the virus, but they will not return to campus for the rest of the semester. The CDC recommends that everyone washes their hands thoroughly, avoid touching their face, and to remain calm and educated.
Residents of Central Tennessee are trying to recover after severe storms and at least one tornado ripped across the region last week. The storms left numerous homes and buildings destroyed in several counties, and tens of thousands are out of power. The National Weather Service reported the path of the storms stretched across 145 miles of the state. As a result of the storms, the death toll has risen to 22 individuals, and another 150 have been taken to hospitals. Yeah, that's insane with the coronavirus and the tornadoes. I mean, just destruction all across everywhere.
Yeah, and with the recent update of the campus being shut down after spring break and having no classes, but having to be able to have access to campus still, but no classes is a little...
Yeah, it's going to be tough with online courses. I mean, I don't know what our music classes are going to do. I mean,
like
just,
practical
classes. I don't know. It's going to be tough, but we'll keep you guys updated.
Yep.
Coming up, we'll let you know about the Disney CEO stepping down.
Stay tuned.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Voters across the United States have made their votes for Super Tuesday. Super Tuesday is the day where the majority of the U.S. states hold primary elections and caucuses. Utah is one of the 14 states, along with American Samoa and voters abroad, that participate in Super Tuesday. Voters with mail-in ballots should drop off their ballot at the polling station or a drop box. Voting stations are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., and same-day registration is available at polling locations. To learn more, go to vote.utah.gov.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has nearly $38 billion in stocks and mutual funds, according to a recent filing. Ensign Peak Advisors submitted a filing on February 14th that disclosed the religious organization holds $1.5 billion in both Apple and Microsoft. The filing also states that the church owns nearly $1 billion in Google and Amazon stock as well. This comes after a former church employee filed a complaint with the IRS in November that alleged the LDS Church improperly built a $100 billion investment using donations from its members, rather than donate to charitable causes. The church has denied the claim, saying that the funds are used to operate the day-to-day operations, while any extra is, quote, methodically safeguarded through wise financial management.
Bob Chapek is Disney's new CEO as Bob Iger shockingly stepped down. Iger oversaw the accusations of Marvel Studios, Pixar, 21st Century Fox, and Lucasfilms during his tenure as CEO, all of which have helped Disney to shatter box office records. Iger also helped oversee the launch of Disney Plus, a streaming service that has already rivaled Netflix. Iger has assumed the role of executive chairman and will direct the company's creative endeavors moving forward until at least 2021. Prior to his position as CEO, Chapek served as the chairman of Disney Parks, Experiences, and Products.
Yeah, I love Disney Plus. It's
Yeah,
great.
Disney Plus is very useful.
Interesting to say that it already rivals Netflix. I don't know the exact numbers, but Netflix is huge. So that'd be crazy if that was true. But I mean, people love their Disney, you know?
And a lot of what was on Netflix is now on Disney Plus, so I feel like a
True.
lot of them are going over
True.
to Disney to watch those shows that
Yeah.
they did.
It's funny, like we have cable TV and just like put all these channels together, and now we just have a bunch of individual streaming services that you have to pay for that's basically just paying for cable TV.
Yeah,
That's
so
funny.
I feel like TV is going out
Oh, yeah.
of business
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot. Yep, definitely.
It's not going to be there anymore.
Kendall, what do we have coming up in the weather?
We've got a beautiful week ahead. Stay tuned.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back to SUTV. I'm Kendall Pry. So today, on March 10th, it is currently 46 degrees and cloudy, but sadly it feels like 44, but good thing that's not too much of a difference. And then the high today is supposed to be 52 degrees and the low is supposed to be 38 degrees with a 20% chance of rain, so maybe just bring your umbrellas just in case. So for the week, we'll start with today. It is going to be sunny, and then sadly it's going to start getting cloudy as we go on, and then eventually it's going to start raining. So I hope you guys are prepared for a very rainy spring break. I hope you're not staying here and you have plans to go somewhere else. And then in St. George today, it's supposed to be 58 degrees and cloudy, and it still feels like 58 degrees. So I hope nobody is going to St. George for today because it's not going to be sunny St. George. And then, okay, so for our 7-day forecast in St. George, it is going to start getting a little bit hot on Thursday, but then it's going to start going downhill for a little bit and it's going to start raining. So unfortunately, it looks like spring break there is also going to start off on the cloudy and rainy side. But hopefully the rest of spring break will be good and it will not be showering then as well. In Bryan Head today, it is 36 degrees. It is also cloudy, but that is good for Bryan Head because that means that hopefully more snow is on the way. The high is going to be 36 and the low is 23 with a 0% chance of rain. So it should be a pretty good day in Bryan Head, just not very sunny. And then the 7-day forecast for Bryan Head, it's going to be pretty snowy as you can see, with a little bit of sun on Thursday and a little bit of sun peeking through on Saturday and Sunday as well. However, it looks like it should be a pretty good season finishing up in Bryan Head. Do I keep going? I don't have anybody telling me. Okay. Well, that is all we have for you today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for the weather update, Kendall.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that it's going to be cloudy and rainy during all spring break.
Yeah. This week was really nice, though. It got up to like 60 yesterday.
I
So
was hanging out outside doing a
nice.
bunch of stuff. What a
Yeah,
beautiful
same.
day.
Yeah, it's a little sad about spring break.
Zach, what do we have coming up in sports?
Coming up on SUU TV Sports, we've got a recap of SUU basketball. Don't go anywhere.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to SUTV Sports. I'm Zach Stover. Southern Utah men's basketball played their last home contest of the season last week. T-Birds took on conference leaders Eastern Washington on Thursday, but couldn't keep pace with the Eagles and eventually fell 69-51. Dwayne Morgan opened the scoring for the T-Birds with this shot from beyond the arc. John Knight followed up with a tough finish in traffic. The basket was the final time the T-Birds would hold the lead in the game. The Eagles went on a 14-5 run over the next 8 minutes, and the T-Birds never recovered. Cameron Aluyatin finished a tough layup to pull the T-Birds within 4 late in the first half, but the Eagles carried a 26-18 lead into the break. The Thunderbirds started the second half strong, and a breakaway dunk by John Knight III cut the lead to 3. That's as close as the T-Birds would come, as Eastern Washington went on a 15-6 run and built a 10-point lead late in the second half. There were some late-game fireworks from Knight, who finished with 13 points, but the Eagles preserved and won by 18. The T-Birds bounced back quickly for senior night on Saturday against the University of Idaho. Seniors Andre Adams, David Ndaye, Dwayne Morgan, and Cameron Aluyatin were honored before their last game at the American First Event Center. It was a blowout win, with the T-Birds taking it 87-55. Aluyatin finished with 22 points and Morgan added 10 points and 4 rebounds. All 12 of SUU's active players got into the game, and the T-Birds bench broke out in new celebrations in the big win. The Thunderbirds move on to a 15-14 overall.
And that's Long's first points of the ball game.
SU is currently in 7th place in the conference and will
Blocked
travel
away
to
by
Montana State and
Jai.
Montana to close out the season
And
this weekend.
Shot clock violation.
SU's women's basketball is coming off a split weekend, picking up against Eastern Washington Thursday, but falling to Idaho on Saturday. SU started out slow, only mustering 8 points in the first quarter, but turned into a high gear to come away with a 70-67 victory. All 5 of the Thunderbirds starters in the game with 10 rebounds on their way to a double-double. The Thunderbirds then flew to Moscow to take on the Idaho Vandals, getting away with a 57-70 loss. The cold second period doomed SU as they only put up 4 points to Idaho's 14. They picked up the pace in the third quarter, breaking out with 25 points, but it wasn't enough to come away with a win. Despite the loss, Rebecca Cardenas led all scorers in the game with 25 points, while adding 8 rebounds and 5 steals to her stat line. Jessica Chapman also had a solid game with 10 points and 13 rebounds on her way to a double-double. SU now returns home for their final 2 games of the season before traveling to Boise, Idaho for the Big Sky Tournament. That's all I got for today. For SUTV Sports, I'm Zach Stover. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for the sports update, Zach.
The women's basketball team is actually doing really good. Rebecca Cardenas just got Defensive Player of the Year,
Yep.
so they're killing it
And
over there.
unanimous first team. She's unreal. I actually, sports is kind of my thing, so I just heard in one of my classes that she actually has a combine invitation coming up in April, so we'll see what she can do with that.
When we come back, we'll catch up with Lauren for what is happening around campus.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Toxic chemicals and carcinogens are leaching into the environment. It's happening right where we live, work, and play. Everywhere. Cigarette butts are toxic waste. Let's stop the toxic litter. Learn more at rethinkbutts.org.
Welcome to Campus Happenings. I'm Ryan McCormick. This week on campus, classes are going to be closed and spring break is next week. So if you're going to be here and not doing anything else, the campus buildings will be open. And then the week after there will be no classes, but everything will still be open. So you can still come in on campus, do everything you need to do. If you want to go home, you can. I'm not going to tell you what to do though. So yeah, 30 seconds, my goodness. We have, there's no sports going on campus. So whatever you want to do with your time, go ahead and do it. Thanks for joining me on Campus Happenings. Back to you guys at the desk.
SU soccer has never been a powerhouse program, but they're hoping to turn a new leaf with their new head coach, Kai Edwards. Our reporter, Bree Aldridge, has the story. Come on in.
Oh, come on.
Edwards was the head coach at St. Mary's in the West Coast Conference, helping the team to 7 top 25 wins. After leaving St. Mary's, Edwards was an assistant coach for the Michigan Wolverines, giving him a perspective of working with the smaller budget at SUU.
I feel like with the resources that we have, and every school has limited resources. I was at University of Michigan, and University of Michigan wishes they had North Carolina's and Texas's budget. So everyone has, a limited resource somewhere. I feel with the resources we have, we can be successful.
Edwards is hoping for a quick turnaround with his new team, similar to his previous experience with the Golden Bears.
I think we had 5 wins the year before I got there, and the year I came in, we went up to, I think we ended with 13 wins, and back in the NCAA tournament with big wins at UCLA and home versus USC. So it was a good experience.
Despite the last 2 rough seasons, the T-Birds have large expectations for themselves in 2020.
So we have 3 words for this season that we kind of are sticking to as a program and as a team, and those are resilient, united, and determined. So those kind of encapsulate, I would say, like our whole team goals and like the program and the team that we want to be. So I would just say, yeah, those are our goals, and our goals always are going to stem off of those 3 words. So those are going to be like our roots.
Tangible goal would be make the Big Sky Conference tournament for the first time. They were 6 points out last year, and the way I explained it to them is we lost to Portland State 3-2, and Portland State was the last team in the conference tournament. Well, if we beat Portland State, we move up 3 points, and they go down 3, and you get in the conference tournament with a tiebreaker.
The team's first test at home will be against Snow College on March 28th. For SUTV News, I'm Brianna Aldridge.
There was a lot of talk about the coronavirus today. What did you guys think about that?
I think it's pretty intense situation we got going on. NBA's canceled. That's just terrible for everyone. March Madness, college basketball, all the college athletics being suspended for the foreseeable future. I'm very upset by it.
And with the university now closing the school and moving to online classes as well.
That's all of Utah, right?
Yeah, all of Utah.
All of Utah. Wow.
I know that Harvard as well made their students completely leave.
Yeah, all of the Ivy League.
Thanks for tuning in. That's all we have for you. I'm Parker Haney.
I'm Zach Stover.
I'm Kendall Pry.
I'm Ryan McCormick.
And I'm Emily Alverson. Be sure to tune in this afternoon for another news show.